Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. I'm sure people must be watching this presentation from around the world. Testingology is a platform where you can gain knowledge. So today I'm gonna cover Selenium, and if I go to next slide, these are the topics that I'm going to cover today. So I will quickly go through the slide. Challenges with manual testing, how automation testing beats manual testing, what is Selenium, features of Selenium, components of Selenium, browser, operating system and languages supported. Alright, so you all must be aware of manual testing because when it comes to attending a course related to automation testing, I have seen mostly people from manual testing background or those who have had automation testing background as well, but they have used other tools like QTP and stuff. They usually take the course. I will tell you in brief about myself. I have been a developer for 2 years in the beginning of my career, and then I switched to automation testing because I have got a chance to work on automation script, and I thoroughly loved the work. So that was the time I decided that I will be completely switching to automation testing. So why is the slide? You must be aware of manual testing because see, the base is very important. You have to have your manual concept very clear because automation is automates manual test cases. So the concept will remain in there. They will remain intact. We will be just automating them. Okay, so that's a funny slide. And you can see that on the left hand side, we have got this registration form with the various sign of fields like username, password, name, address, country, email, sex, languages, and we have to submit it. And there is a poor guy who is working on this web application. He is probably loading these transactions and loading this transaction manually, and he is all sweat. So if you see here, testing web application manually involves and transactions, loading all transactions, download those transactions, creating pass fail reports for each, validating the form, taking a screenshot for each validation. I'm assuming, let's say he has to 200 transactions or maybe 1000 transactions. Can you just imagine his life? Okay, so this is what he is thinking. It's boring, it's time consuming, it's tedious and tendency to make mistakes and errors because error is to human tendency, and somebody has to 200 plus or 1000 plus transaction, and believe me, even I will tend to insert a mistake. Anybody will tend to insert a mistake. So now let's see how automation testing will take over manual testing. So if you look here, this guy is smiling. It says automated execution through test scripts. So that's a complete hub of system. Auto generation of result file. So we are maintaining all the result files somewhere. And auto generation of report. So we have got these auto generated reports also. So that's the beauty of automation. See, automation is a whole concept in that sense. If you talk about which application automate or how to automate this application, so if this question comes up, I would first ask so, and that will be my cross question whether I can automate this application or not. What kind of application is it? So the first point is to understand whether we can automate this web application or not. If it is fine to automate that application, okay, he has to automate all the test cases using test script. He has created an automated test suite, but we have got multiple system uh, here in this slide. Alright, and we are getting auto generated result files. That's what we can do. We can automate the results generation as well, and we can maintain the result file at a particular location, and then we can also auto generate the reports to send. So when we will go through this entire course curriculum, you will get to know how to do this. When we will reach framework part, you will come to know how we can automate this entire process of auto generating the result files and also creating the reports. Features of automation testing. So these are the points how they beat manual testing. Fast execution. So let's understand all these points in details. Faster execution. Now we need to understand why it's faster. So you all will think that okay, that's the script and we will just execute the script, and that's absolutely correct. But we also need to understand writing that script takes time. Only the execution of that script is faster. So no doubt the effort put initially into creating the automation test suite is huge, but looking at the long-term effect of creating that automation test suite is so beautiful that we tend to overlook the effort that has been put initially. Faster execution, so we have got the steps which are already written inside the script. We just run the script and we will get the result. That's the reason faster execution. More accurate. Why is more accurate? Because whatever we write inside the script, they are predefined. As I already know that what is my test case and what do I want to achieve. What should the result be? What is the expected result? So when I create my test script, I will also test my test script for this accuracy, and I will test the test issue for the result as well, which I want to achieve. So that's already been tested and it tells so much that of course we can believe on the result. Whereas with manual, let's say I have to do 100 transactions. Same thing. If you go back to same slide, I have to do same transaction for 100 times. Now for 99 times I didn't make any mistake, but I got so bored doing the same thing again and again. But here I have to just run the script, and those steps need not to be executed manually. It's a script and just have to run it, those pre-recorded steps. So that's more accurate for obvious reason. Lesser investment in human resource. Now if you talk about manual testing, and if you talk about our different companies, okay, I have been into corporate as well. So if we talk about your manual testing team strength would be minimum 4 people, 4 resources, and maximum can mean anything depending on the project size. Now if I got minimum 4 resource, also I have to bring them from some other project, or I will have maybe hire them, so I will investing money in those resources. Whereas the automation I need one or two resource to create that test automation suite, because when it comes to running that suite, we don't need any special expertise. That person just need to know a few steps to run that automation test suite. So obviously there is a less investment in human resources. So if ours, if we are saving money as well, and time we already know we got that fast execution, so we are saving time and we are saving money as well. Supports regression testing. Now let's understand what regression testing is first, and we will see how it supports regression testing. Now regression testing, when I asked to my student what is regression testing, they come up with different answers, as in classes the same, almost same, but yes, of course different answer. So regression testing, or let's say regression test suite, it's a set of test cases which will always be there, and those test cases were written keeping in mind that these test cases will test a major functionality of the application. We want to check it major flow, or major function, or major component of that application. So that's how that regression test suite is created, having major test cases. Now when it comes regression testing, it means whenever there is a bug fix, or whenever there is an enhancement, I have to run that set of test cases again, because that is testing the major functionality or major components of the application. And with any bug fixes, or with any enhancement, I don't want that functionality to be broken. So these test cases will remain there always, and whenever I get fixed, will run the and I will run the test suite. Now one more point to add, because I don't want you to misunderstand things. And when it comes to enhancement is a new features. So if any new features is getting added to your application, so don't think you can't add more test cases to your regression test suite. You can add test cases to your regression test suite, and you can remove test cases from your regression suite. But the point is, if you will always have a fix number, not a fix actually, but certain test cases that is testing the major functionality or major call flow, you can say uh, of your application. The next one is a frequent execution. If you have to run test suite, which is going to take a few seconds or maybe just a few seconds, few minutes to complete the entire test suite. Obviously, even if I am getting billed or let's say virtually any number of times in a day, I can run this automation test suite because that's uh, make a few seconds or may be a few minutes so frequent execution of test automation test suite. Support lights out execution. Now this terminology is technical, which means that even if you are not physically present in front of this testing happening, it will happen anyway with manual testing. You have to do it manually, but with automation you just have to run the test suite. So even if you are not there, maybe or attending some important meeting or you are running some very important test case, which is different thing together, or maybe you are working on some different project. So this is the power of automation. You don't have to manually there physically there. You are saving on time, you are saving on money, so many things you can achieve. Now what is Selenium? Selenium automates browsers, that's it. What you do with that power is entirely up to you. Primarily it is for automating web application for testing purpose, but it is certainly not limited just that. Selenium is a set of tools and libraries that automates web browser actions. It is open source and mainly used for functional testing and regression testing. Boring web-based administration tasks can and should also be automated, I'd say. Let us go to the our browser and type Selenium. You will get one of the option selenium.dev, and this is the official website of Selenium. So let's take a very simple example. You want to test a login page. So you will enter the username, enter the password and click on login button. Now if you want to automate this testing, you will download the Selenium libraries in any of your preferred programming language, and using this library you will create your test script, and it will execute all the action for you. At a very high level, you will be doing three things with Selenium. First, you will identify the web elements like text box, drop downs using identifiers like ID, XPath. And second, add actions using a preferred programming language along with programming languages. And third, and then you will run the test and validate. So Selenium is the most widely used open source solution for test automation of web application. These are the three things: identify web elements, add action, and run the test. Now features of Selenium: flexible and extensible, multiple language support, multiple browser support. If you go to Selenium site and you go to download, and if you go down, you will find a lot of third-party plugins and add-ons available for Selenium. You can extend Selenium and can get a lot of functionality in Selenium. Here, components of Selenium. Let us look at four major components of Selenium. We have Selenium ID, Selenium RC remote control, WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. Selenium ID is a add-on for Firefox and Chrome. It is a record and playback plugin useful for quick prototype testing. And second, Selenium remote control. It is also known as a Selenium 1, used to execute a script written in any language using JavaScript. Now Selenium 1 is deprecated and it is not actively supported. Third one, Selenium WebDriver is the most actively used component. It is an API used to send commands directly to the browser, and it is also known as Selenium 2. Selenium RC and WebDriver are merged to form Selenium 2. And the fourth one, Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid is a smart proxy server that allows Selenium tester to route command to remote browser instances. It aims to provide an easy way to run tests in parallel on multiple machines, or a tool to run tests in a parallel across different machines and different browsers simultaneously. So, whenever you want to minimize execution time or want to run your test cases on multiple platforms or browser, you can use Selenium Grid. So, Selenium was started by Jason Huggins in 2004. 2004 Selenium is launched, Selenium 1, and in 2007 Selenium ID and Selenium WebDriver launched, and in 2011 Selenium 2 is introduced, and in 2016 Selenium 3 debut, and 2019 Selenium 4 Alpha is released. For now, latest version is Selenium 4 Alpha 5 released in March 2020, and I will upload separate video for Selenium 4. And so now let's talk about prerequisites to learn Selenium. The first one is a software testing basics, and second automation basics, and third programming languages and web technology like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. At least basic knowledge of any programming language that Selenium support, and you are good to go. Now browsers, operating system and language supported. Let us look at browsers supported by Selenium. So Selenium support all the major browsers and many more. Actually, you can go on download page and go down and you can find there are a lot of browsers supported by third party plugin like Firefox, IE, Safari, Opera, Chrome, Edge. When we talk about operating system, all the major operating system are supported and we have other as well. Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, Linux, source code. When we talk about language, Selenium provides us all the major languages, that is Java, Perl, PHP, C Sharp, Python, Ruby, JavaScript. You can see here. Yeah. Selenium client and web driver language bindings. Ruby, Java, Python, C Sharp, JavaScript, and others also. PHP. So today we learn challenges with manual testing, how automation testing beats manual testing, what is Selenium, features of Selenium, components of Selenium, browsers and languages supported, and in next video we will discuss about what is the Selenium versions and history and key peoples of Selenium. Thank you.